When Fox 11 Investigates told you last year about the high cost to taxpayers to house sex offenders who are on supervised release, many of you were outraged, and so were some state lawmakers. Well, after an audit, some cost-saving changes were made to the program. Fox 11 Investigates continues to push for answers. Tonight, Mark Leland uncovers a flaw that is still costing taxpayers big money.
Many convicted sex offenders after serving their prison time are set free. Those who pose a continued danger are committed to Sand Ridge Treatment Center in Boston and held behind secured walls and barbed wire fences. But after treatment and counseling, some are then placed on supervised release in rented homes like this one across the state at taxpayer expense. It is their transition back into society. The catch is, even when they no longer need to be held, they can stay in these state-paid rentals forever.
This is going to be a thorny thing. Someone doesn't want to leave, and the statutes say they don't have to leave.
State Senator Rob Coles is co-chair of the Legislative Audit Committee that ordered an audit of the supervised release program last year. That audit was prompted by the high rental costs of the program uncovered by Fox 11 Investigates. Some costs have been cut, but the audit also revealed another potentially costly issue. You see, on average, sex offenders are housed in rental homes like this one for 2.5 years before they file a petition to be released, and it's granted. But 4 out of the 33 sex offenders currently in the program have lived in rental homes for more than 5 years. Each year, the cost is roughly $116,000 for each sex offender in the program. Those 4 are costing $464,000 a year. And through court records, we discovered this man has been on supervised release for more than 9 years. His name is Roger Adamski. He's 50 years old. At my request and DHS permission, Adamski agreed to talk with me by phone.
Now, it's my understanding that you would have to petition the courts to be released from supervised release.
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't, because in my mind, well, actually in my mind and my heart, I know I'm not ready for it yet.
Mm-hmm. You think you might reoffend, or?
No, I'm not to that point yet, but there's still, you know.
In talking further with Adamski, he revealed Green Bay's restrictive ordinance on where sex offenders can live is causing him some concern when he is released from the program.
The only real thing I'm worried about is the ordinance and trying to find a place to live, because I don't see, I like living in Green Bay because I know people in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to live someplace else, that's really not going to work out because I don't know anybody anywhere else.
Whether Adamski is ready to be released is a matter of private record. But the legislative audit states DHS believes that some of these individuals would potentially be discharged by circuit court if they filed petitions.
I think we see that a lot in corrections.
Mm-hmm.
People get used to being in the system, and it's challenging to come out.
And so whose problem is it then? It comes down to the taxpayers will continue to pay for it because it's a convenient lifestyle.
Jack Leckler is a concerned taxpayer that spoke out about the cost paid to house sex offenders at the Legislative Audit Committee hearing last year. He remains frustrated by the lack of action being taken in Madison.
Let's see who takes the bull by the horns, and nothing happens.
Ultimately, as it stands now, Adamski and the others in the program would have to make the first move in order to be considered for release. Even if the staff here at Sandridge, which monitors the progress of those in the supervised release program, felt they were ready to be on their own, state law still says the individual sex offender must file his own petition. DHS Secretary Kitty Rhodes declined to offer options as recommended in the state audit. Rhodes indicated in a response to the audit that should the Wisconsin legislature choose to address this issue through legislation, the department would be happy to provide technical and policy assistance in this effort.
So who takes the bull by the horns here and corrects this issue?
Well, maybe somebody like me, maybe some other member of the committee that would investigate it further. But when we do have the public hearing on this, that's one of the points that we can create more articulation.
And as we wait for a hearing date to be set, sex offenders living in homes like these each continue to rack up costs of $116,000 a year. For Fox 11 Investigates, I'm Mark Leland.
Now, Mark mentioned the audit that has led to some cost saving within that program. Tomorrow night, we're going to hear more from the sex offender in the program that Mark talked to about how he thinks the state is managing taxpayers' money.